Oh, yeah. Hmm. So today we have to do interfaces. Now see, there are some keywords also which are like very important to know. So first keyword is your final. Okay, the final keyword. Now final keyword means if you can how you can use final and where are the things you can use in final. So basically you can use final with keywords means your final is a keyword, okay, and you can use the final keyword as variable, as method, as classes. Okay, now if you will create a final variable, suppose I'm creating a final variable and in class A, and in this class A, I'm having one integer value x, which is suppose 5. Okay, now I'm saying int, okay, only int 5. So if I want to do any operation, how can I do that? Using the object. So I will say A is equals to new. Okay, now I have created the object. Now what I can do? So I can simply say a dot 5 or a dot x is equals to whatever. Suppose 10, I will say. Okay, so it will be a dot x is equals to 10. Okay, now, now what I will do? Now what I will do? I have a dot x is equals to 10. Now I have changed the variable. So now if I will print, he will print me. He will print the value, which is 10. Okay, let me save this one. Saved and it is running. So output is 10. Okay, but now if I will do this final, if I will create this final. Now if I have created the variable final, you cannot change that variable. What you cannot do? You cannot change that variable. That variable will become a constant. Okay, you cannot change that variable. That variable will become constant. Okay, so this is your final variable. Okay, you cannot change this variable. This is a constant. You can only use it, but you cannot change it. Okay, everyone is clear with the final variable. Now second,
Yes.
now second, if you will create final method, suppose I'm saying void display. Okay, void display. So I'm writing something, suppose, and I'm saying hello. Okay, there is one class also, class B. Okay, which is inheriting this class. Okay, and I'm saying this class B is overriding this method. And he's saying world. And world. Okay, now this is possible. So this you can do. But if you will write final over here, so you cannot override that method. You cannot override that method if you are writing a final as a method. Okay, now, okay, this is also clear. Now, if you will write final as a name, so you cannot inherit that class. You cannot inherit that class. So if you are creating final as a variable, you cannot change that variable. If you are creating final as a method, you cannot override that method. If you are using final as a class, you cannot extend that class. Okay. So this is your final keyword. Everyone is clear with the final keyword? No doubt. Okay. Now, super, I think I have already explained. So super anyone have a doubt? They can ask. I can repeat, otherwise we will move forward for the blocks. No doubt? Okay. So suppose we have a class here. Okay, and I have a constructor. In constructor, I am writing something. Okay, this is my constructor. And like this only, we have one more thing which we can create in a class, and that is called a block. Block. Simple. This is your block. This is your block. You can write anything over here. Anything like anything you can write. Okay. Now, if you will create an object of it. Okay, and if you are trying to run this application, see what is happening. First of all, your block is getting executed and then your constructor. So if you want to execute some code before the constructor, you can use block. Okay, although let's see one more interesting thing. Okay, let me remove constructor for now. So block is like blocks depend on the objects. There are two objects right now. So there will be two output. Hello, hi guys, hi guys. 2 times the block will run. If we are creating 3, so 3 times the block will run before the constructor. See. Okay, but this is called an instance block. This is called an instance block. Instance block. It depends on object, so that's why it's an instance block. Okay. Now there is another thing also. This is called static block also. There is one more block that is called a static block also. So in static block, it doesn't matter how many times you create the object. It will always execute one time. Only one time, the first time. Hi guys. Okay. So static, as a static belongs to class. Okay, it has a memory and I've already explained you about static. So static will only execute one time. But if you're not creating static, you are creating an instance. So he will depend on object, number of objects. Are you clear with the instance block and static block, everyone?
Can you repeat again?
Instance block is your block when it depends on the object. Okay, instance block depend on the object. Means there are 3 objects. So your instance block will run 3 times. Okay, and instance block is like it will run before constructor. Okay, but if you are creating a static block, so it will only execute once. It doesn't depend on the object, it's depend on the class. Okay, so this is your static block. Clear? Okay. So
static block will also execute before constructor, right?
Okay. So now let's come to your interfaces. So interfaces. I think abstraction, everyone is clear with the abstraction. Abstraction is, if you want to create an abstraction, you have to use abstract class and it will create an abstract. That will be your abstract class. Okay, now let's just talk about interfaces. Okay, interface. Suppose I'm creating interface here.
Oh, I'm sorry, kindergarten. I'm sorry.
Kindergarten is
Okay, suppose there is an interface A. Okay, in this interface, you are creating, or you can say you are creating interface car. We give you the old example. So in this, you are having void top sphere. Void top sphere and void engine and void display. Okay, so these are your abstract methods. Now the question is, sir, we are not writing abstract keyword. Okay, so if you are not writing abstract keyword also, no, Java is already writing that for you. Okay, public, abstract. These two things are already written. If you are not writing also, that's fine. Java will write for you. Okay, they will always be there in a method, in front of method. Okay, now if you want to implement the properties of interfaces, if you want to inherit the properties of interface, we have a keyword known as implements. Okay, suppose now my car is, I have a car BMW. I'm saying implements car. Okay, now I have to override all the three methods as they are the abstract method. Otherwise, my this class BMW will also become an abstract class. So what I have to do? I have to override the methods, unimplemented methods. Okay, there are three methods. So I will override these three methods. Okay. So over here, I can define the scout field of this BMW car. Println. Over here, I can give like 320 according to me. Suppose the engine is turbo. Yeah, I will say turbo. And display and display, I can write blue color or black color, anything. Okay, like this. Okay, so this is my BMW car. Similarly, if I want to create this, so I can create Ferrari also. Okay, so I have to override that all methods. Plus, if I want to create mine, I can create mine also. But these three are important because they are present in the interface. Okay. So if you want to create the object of BMW, you can create BMW. B is equals to BMW. You can simply say B dot anything like this change in anything. Okay. So that will work. So this is your interface. Okay. Now, second thing, your interface have a variables also. For before that, now as I have told you, Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. Means you cannot extend more than one class. Okay. Now there is one more thing. With the help of interfaces, you can do inheritance. Using interfaces, you can do multiple inheritance. You can do multiple inheritance also using interfaces. Similarly, suppose I'm creating two interfaces. Okay, interface A and second is interface 2 or B. Okay, so using Java, you can do this. Sorry. Over here now. So multiple inheritance is also supported in Java using interfaces. Using interfaces, you can do multiple inheritance also. Got it? Okay. Ji. Now, if suppose B is having one or more method, void B, something like that. Okay, and A is also having some method known as void A. Okay, so you have to override that method also if you are implementing. Okay, why I'm getting an exception. Okay, you can change the name. CB event and A event. Okay. Okay, I have to implement now A and B. Okay, so I have see now it is giving me exception. Why? Because you have to implement two more methods, BB and A. Okay, see BB and A. Okay, so multiple inheritance is possible. Okay, any doubt till now, anyone? No doubt.
So in interface, we have to implement every method, but not in the abstract.
No, yeah, correct. In abstract class, it can be 0 to 100% of abstraction, but in interfaces, you will have 100% of abstraction. Okay.
So, when can we use interface that, okay, this is the code, now I have to use interface. How can we rectify that?
Like if you want, see, for loose coupling, majorly people use interfaces for loose coupling. Okay. So that your classes don't depend on each other. Suppose these are the main methods. As I've explained to you yesterday in yesterday class also. Like
Yes.
if you want to provide some common methods, okay,
Mhm.
which will be provided in, like, there are three classes, and you know that in these three classes there are some methods which are common. So you can write it in an interface, and then using implementation you can provide that unimplemented methods.
Yeah.
And then using this interface, you can use that methods according to the classes.
Okay. So we can use anything in here in the body of the code, right? While using interface, just like the methods and construction we do.
Over here, you are saying? Over here?
In the body of the code.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
write anything. Okay,
Yeah.
suppose you write whatever. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now suppose car wants to inherit the properties of B. Now interface want to implement interface. Is it possible? Yes, it can be possible using extend keyword. So using extend keyword, you can do this. You can do this. See, multiple inheritance is also possible using extend keyword, using interfaces. Never forget, using interfaces. These are the questions which are asked in the interview sometimes. INTER. See,
Can you please repeat the question? I didn't get it.
I'm saying using interfaces, you can do multiple inheritance also. See, I'm doing right now. You are extending three classes. You are having the properties of three classes over here. See, so you can do that. Okay, using interfaces. Okay, G. This is also clear. Now, there is one more thing which you should know. And don't worry about that, like when to use it, how to use it. When we will move forward, when I will use interfaces, then you will know where to use it and when to use it. Don't worry. Okay, majorly you should know how to use it and when to. I have given you the touch when to use it. Okay, although we will do practically also the real time example when we will go in advance. Okay, Ji. Now there is one more concept, and that is the variables. In a variable, in a constructor, you can create variables in X, int Y. Okay, but if you are creating a variable in an interface, it will always be public, static, final, and these three keywords will always be there in a variable. Now you are saying, like, sir, I'm not writing that. So I'm not writing that, but I'm saying, okay, if you are not writing there now, Java will automatically write these three keywords in the interface. Now you are saying, sir, I need a proof. I don't believe this. So I'll say, okay, no problem. Let me show you the proof. So if it is a static, then only I can print the variable without creating object using the class name, correct? If a static variables only can, in static only we can do this, na? Using the class name, we can print that variable. So let's do that. So let's say car dot see a x and y is visible. So we can do this. And it is visible outside the class means it's a public. See, 10 is visible. Okay, Ji. Okay. Now, how will I say it's a final? Okay, if you want to check final, change the variable, try to change the variable. If it is getting changed, then it is not a final. See, I'm changing the variable and it is saying, giving me error. He is saying this is a final. He is only saying this is the final field, you cannot change it. So this is a proof that in interface, if you are not writing anything, then also your public static final will be there in a variable. Got it? So this is a keyword. Okay, Ji. So the question also asked in interviews are like, does interface have a constructor? Can we create a constructor in interfaces? Tell me. Tell me. Can we create?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Everyone,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
Everyone is saying yes, huh? See, why, when to create like when to create constructor? What is the motive of constructor? Why we create constructor? Can you tell me? Can anyone? Why we create a constructor? Hmm? Why we create a constructor? This is the question.
To access the
Hmm?
to access the sorry,
Yeah, to access the
methods and in the
no,
abstract class.
that is for a object, na? With the help of new keyword, you create object.
Initialize the instance variable.
Correct. Correct. That is the answer. To initialize the instance variable, to give the value to instance variable. That's why we create a constructor. Okay. So now these variables are final. You cannot change this variable, correct? You cannot change this variables once you have declared this variable. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is the use of constructor then? If we cannot change the variable, there is a use of constructor then? No.
We cannot create constructor in here actually
Correct.
with instance.
We cannot create. Why? Because these variables are final. Okay, you cannot change this variable. And if you cannot change the variable, then what is the use of constructor? Simple.
You cannot
that's why-
initialize the instance variable over here, so you cannot
Okay.
use that.
So that's why interfaces don't have a constructor. Okay. So these are the questions. Okay. Now there is update. After Java 8, we have an update in interfaces also. So what is the update? So update is you can create default variable in a interfaces. Means you can say default, okay, void display, and you can write anything. Okay, so this is the update. Okay, after Java 8, you can do this. Okay. And after Java 8, you can create okay, you can create static methods also. Okay, static method also. Static methods also. So after Java 8, in Java, after Java 8, you can create static method also plus default method also. Got it? So this is your update. Any doubt? In interfaces?
The last point, can you repeat?
After Java 8 is a version. Okay, after Java 8 version, you can create a default method plus your static method in a interface.
Okay. Okay.
You mean like the body? We can write it in a static display.
Correct. Normal method. Static
Okay.
normal method. Okay.
But once the method is static, are we able to implement that in class or any another interface?
No need to implement. No? This is a static method. Static method we cannot do inheritance in a static method. Oh, sorry,
So why we
but
are,
I'm saying one second. Static
why we are
method.
declaring it then?
You can use it, no? Like if you want to use it, suppose you want to give some message in an interface. Suppose there is a method that you want to give it. Okay, so that interface we have some method. Suppose this method is saying this is the interface. Okay, so if anybody wants to know what is car, so he can say car dot def. So he will get the output. This is the interface. Okay,
So
so
you
like this
forgot the
also.
semicolon, so in the system.39 line.
Okay. So it will print. This is the interface. This is a normal and default method. Default method using BMW, you can call the default method also.
Can we override the default method?
Right? Try to do this if you have a doubt. Default DEFA to
So what's the
default.
difference between default and public then? Means
We will do
default
this.
defaulting.
We will do this. We will do this. This is access modifiers. We will do this.
Okay.
See, you cannot. Okay, because it is not visible now. Okay, we will do the access modifier. See, saying change the access modifier to public. Okay, it's
We
not
cannot
visible.
implement that.
Correct.
Okay.
You cannot override that method. If you want to override that method, don't give the body. Simple. Make it abstract. If you want to override, then it will also you have to
Yes.
override that method. Simple.
If you
Okay.
don't want to override, then only we can write default.
Correct. If you want to give some methods which you don't want the other class to be implemented, that you are saying, okay, it can have that method. So you can create that as a normal.
Then what is the difference between the default method and the static method in interface?
Static method, see, a static method means you can call that method using class name. Okay. So suppose you don't have any implemented class, you don't have subclass of this method, this interface. So if you want to call this method, so using class name, you can do that. Okay, but now you want to call some method, and suppose there is a BMW class which is implementing this class, this interface car. Now you want that be using BMW, I should call the default method. So you can call that. There are two different scenarios. Using static, you can call it using interface name, the car. Okay, and there is a default method. Suppose you want some methods which are used by the implemented class, so you can use that. They are giving you some more options. Okay,
Okay.
it's use, not use. If you don't want to use, don't use. If you want to use, there are, it depends on the situation. Okay, suppose you have some that kind of situation, you want to create a method, some method in an interface, so you can use it. Java is giving you that thing also. Okay, it's not mandatory you should have to create default method, you have to create static method. That is not mandatory, that's up to you.
So
This is a
static
tool.
methods cannot be inherited by the class. Is it
No.
like that?
Yes, static belongs to your class.
It won't go to child class, right?
You can use that using child class. Child class can have the properties of static, but you cannot override that.
Oh, you cannot override it. Okay.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the difference. Difference in Java, in abstraction and in interfaces. So first interface do not have a constructor. Abstract class have a constructor. It use extend keyword, is used implement. Okay, you tell me one by one. Tell me the difference between interfaces and abstraction. Abstract class.
In abstraction, we cannot use multiple inheritance. In interface, we can use multiple.
Okay,
inheritance.
good.
And
One
by
point, second.
default, in interface, the variables are static final,
Very good.
and in abstract, it is not. And we
Okay.
cannot create constructor in interface,
Mhm,
and in abstract, we can create it.
mhm. Good.
Abstract doesn't has a body, whereas interface has body. It can implement classes too.
Repeat again. This is not a correct point. Although try to say again.
I'm saying
Body.
abstract doesn't has any body. It just has
Abstract.
like the name and that's it.
Okay, that is your abstract method.
Yeah, abstract method. It doesn't has anything inside it, whereas implement has everything in its side.
No, see. Implement normal method. You are saying
Okay.
abstract method doesn't have a body. Correct. And normal method have a body. Correct. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the interface and
Okay.
abstract class.
Okay.
And by default, in interface, we have this default and static method,
After
which is
Java,
not
right?
available in
Okay.
So we in
Okay.
abstract we use the abstract keyword, but interface don't have any keyword.
Interface have a interface keyword, no? In abstract, you have
Interface
to
and
use abstract.
implements.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And in this, you
Yeah,
have to
but for
implement in
methods,
this extent.
Yeah. By default, interface have abstract methods, which in abstract method we need to write, right? Abstract
Oh,
keyword for methods
yes.
as well.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about the last pillar of your Java, which is your encapsulation.
One last question,
Mhm.
like the interface, is it mandatory to have abstract method or you can just write normal method name?
Yeah, in interface, it's up to you, no? Like class, you can create empty class also. You can
Okay.
create one method class also. You can create two method class also. Just like that in interfaces, if you want to create only one method, you create one method, create two methods, create three methods. It's up to you.
No, abstract method. So it's a
Yeah.
compulsory.
Yeah, like majorly people use in interface, people only prefer abstract methods only. They don't create static and default method, but it's up to you
Okay.
and your usage. Okay, if you want to create normal methods also, use abstract class. Okay, now let's talk about the encapsulation, the last pillar of
Yeah,
your Java.
here one question after that. Like she said, we can be in interface. All the methods are by default abstract, right? Other than that, we can create final as well as default method. So can we create normal public method?
No,
No.
in
right?
interfaces,
Okay.
you cannot create a public method. Yes.
Cannot. So that is also one difference. Like in abstract, we
Hmm.
can do both. Here we can. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, encapsulation means the last pillar of your hopes. Okay. So first is packages. Now I think everyone know what is packages. Packages just like your folders. Just like your folders. This is your package. Like you have lot of things like in your real life, what you do. Or let me show you the real life also. Polymorphism, real life, real time example where we use polymorphism. Okay. So as I have already told you, there is a two-string method. Okay. Suppose I have a class A. In this, I'm having a three variables. Okay. I'm having two variables. Okay. So I'm having one constructor also. Okay. And he's saying A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20, of course. Okay. Now I'm creating the object also. I'm saying A is equals to new A. Okay, now if I will print this A, what will be printed? What will be printed?
Isn't it two
Hmm?
three? Okay.
Your voice is low actually.
10.
10.
10,
Yeah. Yes.
only 10,
Yes.
only 10. You can take anything else. Yeah, this is your reference variable. Don't get confused now. This and this A is different and that A is different. This is the reference variable. This is your instance variable.
10 and 20.
10.
Yeah,
No,
we are
it
not
will
using this.
Hash
10.
code.
I have already told you many times, don't forget the concepts. Okay. These are important things which I'm explaining. If you will not understand this thing, now I'm sure you will face lot of difficulty. Okay. If you are printing a reference variable, you will be printing a hash code. How it will be get printed? As I've already told you, every class in Java have a parent class and that is your object class. And if you are printing the object in ASD, what you are storing an object and he will print an object. In object, you have a two-string method. He will call that method and he will print the hash code. This method. Okay, now if you don't want to print a hash code. Okay, suppose you don't want to print a hash code. Okay, so if you don't want to print this, what you can do? You can override that two-string method. Simple, override the two-string method. This is a real-time example I'm showing you how people use two-string method also. How people use overriding. See, you can override the method also. Now it will print A and 10 and 20. You can write anything in this. Whatever you will write, it will get printed in ASD. Anything, whatever you want. It will print because the two-string method is getting called. Now you are creating the object of A. So A class toString will be called. Why? Because you are overriding that. The real time example. Okay.
Yes.
These are the concepts you should never forget. Important concepts. Now it's up to you. Now packages.
So, by using the toString method, how we execute that A and B values? Can you show that again?
You can simple print A is equals to however you want, like you can write anything. You are using concatenation, you can do according to it.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Got it.
Now let's talk about the packages. Okay, what are packages? Packages. So packages are just like your folders. Okay. Now what are folders? Suppose you have some things like you have a music, you have a movies, you have a study material, you have a lot of things. So where you organize your code, where you organize the thing, you organize the things in your folders. Like you will have different kind of folders. Suppose in music you are having musics only. In movies you will have more folders, subfolders like action movie, Hollywood, Bollywood, like that. And in that you will put the movies. Okay, in study material you will have inner folders. Then you will put the subject name, then the subject material. So just like that, you are having a packages. Okay, packages. Suppose I am giving demo packages. Although let me show you what are packages. So like this. Okay, these are your packages. Okay, like in by constructor will have a constructor files in that. Okay, these are just like packages to organize your code. Okay, so that you can use that code. Now suppose I'm having three packages in demo. Okay, and I'm having demo 2. Okay, these are the folders. You can have demo 3, or let me show you only demo 2. In demo 2, you can have some folders. DDL dot DDL. So DDL will be inside demo 2. Okay, inside this you are having. See, with the help of dot, dot, you go inside like demo dot DDL. So you are one step inside demo 2. Now you are inside. Now inside DDL, I'm creating some class. Hello class. Okay. In hello class, I'm doing something like I'm creating one method void display or HD. Okay, now suppose you want to print this HDD in demo. Okay, in demo. So they are different folders. Demo is a different folder, demo 2 is a different folder. So if you will try to print it over here, if you will try to create an object of hello, so Java don't know where hello is present because he only knows the current folder. So in current folder, you don't have this hello. So how you will tell Java that where this hello is present? So you have to import that class. You have to import that class. You have to write import. You have to give the path where it is present. So it is present in demo 2 dot. In demo 2, we have a DDL. Okay, in DDL with the help of dot. Now you are inside that folder. So hello class is present. So I want to import this. So now see, you can use hello. Now you can say h dot, and the method was HD, I think. HD. Now see, it is not visible. Why? Because of the access modifier. So over here, we are not putting anything, so it's by default. If you want to visible, if you want to show this, you have to write public. So now it will be visible. HD. Okay. HD, H capital. Okay. Like this, you can use it. Okay. So these are your packages. Okay, packages, just like your folders. And if you want to use any file which is present in different folder, import. Import. Where to import? Where that particular class is present. Got it, everyone?
So we have to remember where it is present, or do we have any other option to?
You can see now why to remember. See, in demo2, in demo2.ddl, you are having the class.
In real time, we have so many packages and so
Okay,
many,
predefined packages you are saying.
yeah, predefined, yeah.
Okay, so sometime when you will work now, you will automatically learn them. Okay, like this. In scanner, if you want, say, so scanner. Let's take the example of scanner. When we use scanner, a scanner. Scanner is also a predefined class where it is present in java.util.scanner. So when you will use it, you will automatically learn it. So this is a different scanner. Okay, scanner. Let me show you that scanner. Util one. See, java.util. Okay, this one. So if you will click the java.util.scan. So now if you will go inside this, so it is present in the java.util. This is the folder name. Okay, java.util. In this, you are having this class, scanner.class. So you're importing that. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone is clear with the concept? Okay. So, okay, then we'll continue the class. No worry, although it's over. Okay, so try to practice these things. We'll continue the class from encapsulation only. And we'll try to cover array also and string.
So,
And then,
I have a question, like, how do we practice the best practices? How we can use a, say, encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, interface?
let's see.
We
Right
practice-
now, I'm quite busy, so I can't give you that homework. But what you can do, you can create your own classes. No? Like this, I'm also telling you, I'm also showing you. I'm doing practice only, no? Like this only, try to explain yourself only what you have done in a class. Okay, like create 5 classes or 3 classes. Okay, make the private variables, make public variables. Try to use it. Try to be unique. Okay, try to do that thing. Inner classes create. Try to do something which is like which will give you exception. Which will give you exception. That is the thing. And when you will get exception, you are in progress state. You are learning something.
Yeah.
Okay, like this you can say. You can practice. Okay, although when you will learn these things, I will give you small project also. Don't worry.
Okay.
That you will learn by experience which package to use. Okay, when you will learn some classes which are predefined classes.
Yes.
So, okay, guys, bye. Have a good day. I will upload the recording.
Okay.